So this is just a conversation. It doesn't have to be, this is a formal thing. It can be really informal. So, like I said, just trying to get to know you guys better. And I think there's a lot of things that we don't know. So I have a list of questions here. And then it's kind of structured a little bit. Kind of start off with your childhood, school, teenage, kind of going through your life, as you get older. So then there's some random stuff at the end. So you already got this question, right? What is your full name?
Want me to say it again?
Yeah.
Dorothea Christine McKim.
And Papa?
Edwin Rice.
All right. And Grandma, when was your birthday? When's your birthday?
December 24th, 1942.
So that makes you how old?
78.
78. Wow. And Papa, when's your birthday?
August 18, 1940.
And you're
80 and a half.
80 and a half. All right. All right, so we'll start with family. So, Grandma, we'll start with you. Tell me about your family growing up, like your side of the family. Yeah, so that's just an open-ended question.
Okay.
So if you need some help, so tell me about your siblings, your parents, grandparents on both sides.
Okay. I had my mother. My father died before I was born. He died in July and I was born in December. And I had two sisters and we lived with my grandmother. We called her Meme, and then she had Auntie Tito and Auntie Lillian, and we all lived together.
How come you lived with your grandmother?
Because my mother had to work and we were still young, so Mame watched out for us, took care of us, and my mother gave her room and board, and
So your mother lived there too?
yeah, we all lived together.
Oh, nice, nice.
We would sleep three in a bed.
Three in a one bed?
One bed.
Oh, wow.
Because there was a lot of kids there. There was, 3, 4, 5, counting Tito and Lillian.
Because they were just a few years older than you, right?
Same age as us, yeah.
Oh, same age.
Yeah.
And so Meme had how many children?
17 kids.
17 children.
Yeah. She had 7 that lived, and the other 10 died. Some were at childbirth when they were first born, or a year or 2 old, and one drowned in a river. He went fishing, and the boat capsized and never found him.
Oh, wow. How old was he, do you know?
When he died, he was probably 21, 22.
Oh, wow.
Him and Mame's brother, they went fishing and they both drowned. And she had 7 girls lived.
Wow. It was all girls too?
Well, at the beginning there was some boys.
Right, but
Yeah.
only the 7 girls were...
7 girls lived, yep.
Wow. What year was she born?
Oh,
Ballpark. Not even sure.
I don't even know. My mother was 1917, so
Wow,
I
1917.
don't know, 18 something.
Was it
I
18?
mean, 1900. I don't know.
Wow.
I really don't. I never did know that.
That's all right. So your mother, she said she was born in 1918, 1917.
1917.
So
November.
did she tell you any stories about what it was like for her growing up?
No.
No, because she went through the Roaring 20s, right? She was little then, but she was probably a teenager in the Great Depression.
Yeah, no,
Right.
we never
Never talked about that
asked
stuff.
anything. We just took life for granted. We thought it was going to be forever and ever.
Yeah, it was a different time then.
Yeah.
So did you know, you said you lived with Meme, did you know your grandfather?
No, because him and Meme split up, and he lived out in Maine. I met him. But
Mhm.
no, it wasn't a grandfather relationship.
What about on your dad's side? I know you said he had passed before you were born, but did you have any cousins or grandparents that were...
My grandmother lived in Maine, and she'd send us a doll every birthday. She'd send us a card with the doll in it. She was old. No, like we'd go out to Maine once in a while to see, like he had a sister or something, but no, we never really knew them.
You never visited.
No, I have one of his cousins still calls me, and he's probably 80 something years old too. But he calls me every now and then, Gerald Higgins, and once in a great while.
Oh, wow.
I'm friends with a couple of my father's. One is his on Facebook. His brother's son is on Facebook, and a couple of the girls' sisters. So I made friends with them.
And you
Just-
still keep in touch.
just to have friendship, not to, I never talk to them.
Yeah, but yeah,
But they're McKims. It's nice seeing your maiden name.
right.
Yep.
Were you named after a family member at all, or were you named for any special reasoning?
I don't know, no.
I'm not sure.
Boy, I wish I had asked all these questions. Huh? Oh,
Do you have a unique nickname that your family had given you?
they used to call me T-Dot.
T-Dot?
That means little dot.
Because of...
I don't know. I was the baby of the family. I was the youngest.
And why does T mean little? Is that French or is
T is, yeah, French means little.
And so speaking of that, what is your ethnicity? What is your background for your heritage? Like your
French and Irish.
French and Irish? It's French Canadian, right? Or is it French?
My mother they're from Canada and French.
Yeah, okay.
And then my father his family's from Ireland.
Interesting.
Yep.
Now, do you know what generation of your family came from Canada or Ireland?
No.
So you said your mother was born in
My
Canada?
mother was born in Canada. No, my mother was born in Canada, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I want to go back in years and ask these. My maid was living in Canada. My mother must have been born in Canada. My father was born in Limestone, Maine.
Okay.
Yeah, Mars Hill, Maine. And that's where him and my mother met. And then when they got married, they moved down into Rhode Island, and a couple of his sisters and the family started moving to Rhode Island. And that's when he drowned, so.
So it was right around the time everyone started coming to Rhode Island is when that
Yeah,
accident happened.
1942, yep.
And that was in Warwick, right? That was in the lake in Warwick?
Apponaug.
In
yeah.
Apponaug, yeah.
It's the opposite side from the police station and the fire station.
Yeah, right there. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
What was your house like as a child? So I know you said you had all these girls living there, so it must have been kind of catty, kind of crazy.
I guess, yeah, because we used to roller skate. We lived on the second floor, and we'd roller skate on the floor, and the lady downstairs would bang up on the ceiling, and my grandmother would bang back down. So we just did that. I slept with my mother,
In the same bed.
yeah, until she married Frenchie.
And you didn't like him.
No, not really.
No. He didn't treat you guys that good?
Like a stepfather, and
Yeah.
we were there. It was a package deal. But
Right.
that's okay.
When you were young, how did your family spend time together?
Give me that.
It's alright.
I don't know. I know we used to have Christmases all the time like we do now with Keith. We used to have that down at May's house, and everybody would go there, but I don't remember.
Yeah. I know. Oh, now we got a whole song to listen to. That's all right. There's 2 more questions, and I'm gonna start all those questioning over with you, Pops. So I hope you were paying attention. So it's not bad so far, right?
No. You got my mind going crazy though. I wish I had known to ask, huh?
I know. That's
If
why I
I
want to
could
start this now. I
If
feel like
Auntie Tita was living, she'd know.
Yeah.
She remembers, she was telling us that, she said to me, I remember when you were born, your mother breastfed you. I never knew that. She just told us that.
yeah. And that's why I want to do this, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll start something.
Never
But it's
knew.
all this stuff that you didn't know, and
No, because they all
wonder.
lived down the street. It was Edna Street in Rhode Island,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't born yet, so. And maybe I was born when they lived there, but I was too little. I don't remember none of it.
where is Edna? Is that in Warwick?
Edna, it's in Rhode Island, but
I'm not sure where.
no.
What is the most important lesson that your parents or grandparents have taught you?
Family. Family is the most important thing, because when the whole world shuts you out, your family's going to be there for you. And the ones that ain't there for you will live to regret it.
That's a good lesson. All right, I already asked you what your grandparents were like. So we'll start again on this. So the topic's still family. So Papa, we're gonna go to you now. So tell me about your family. So siblings, parents, grandparents.
Well, I was born in Warwick in 1940, I think. And I lived there till I was 11. And we moved out of there and went to Coventry. We went up there with 4 boys and 1 girl. And then my sister Deborah was born up there with me. So we moved out of Warwick. We lived right down on the side of the water. And we used to have hurricanes all the time down Warwick. And the water used to come up in the house, and the whole bottom floor used to float.
Oh.
About once a month, or every other, whatever it is, we used to get flooded out. So,
In the basement part,
yeah,
or where you live?
Where we lived. And it used to come up sometimes in 4 or 5 feet. Cause I don't know if you know what it is. And so we moved out of there when I was 11, and we went up in Coventry. It was a 3-room apartment. So it was 5 kids and my mother and father. We moved up in 3-room house. So it was it was 4 boys in 1 room, about the size, not as big as my bedroom in there. So it was 4 boys in there on bunk beds. And my sister, I don't know where she left. Where she left, I was too young anyhow. So that was about it on that.
And so who are your siblings?
Was Ernie, Everett, Bob, and Ernie, and myself, Ed.
Yeah. And did you? So and you had both your parents?
Yeah. My mother and father stayed together my mother passed away, and she was 61 years old. She passed away.
Oh wow.
And my father he just died. My father was 85 when he died.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
We were staying with Laurie, so it might have been maybe 1994.
1994.
And what were your parents' names?
Ernest Rice and Evelyn Denham. Her last name was Denham.
Denham.
And then she got married with Rice, of course.
Now, did you know all 4 of your grandparents?
No, my mother was born in Massachusetts, and we used to go out there in Massachusetts to visit once in a while, but I never really get to know them out there.
Yeah.
We went out there about 2 to 3 times. That was it. We used to go out with my father's rumble seat. He had an old rumble seat, a 32 rumble seat.
What is that?
A car.
Okay.
You know, when you sit in the back and the back goes up. In the back of the car, instead of a trunk, and the back used to go back.
Oh yeah, we had something like that.
It was a seat in it.
Yep.
So we used to ride up there with that once in a while. And that was it on that.
And then your grandparents on your dad's side?
It was, I had a grandmother. She was her name was Reynolds. Her maiden name was Rice. That's who was, her maiden name was Rice. Then she married Reynolds. And so that by then we was already, so I don't know what happened. And I guess my mother and father, they got out. They went on their own after that. But yeah, it was, but my grandfather, I never knew my grandmother.
So your father was born before she married or remarried. We don't know if she was married previously.
She was married. She was born before. He was I call it a love baby. Yeah. So he was I died. He was born 1909, I think it was. I think so. Yeah.
Wow, 1909. Now, did he ever say anything about his childhood or growing up or anything like that?
No,
Either of your parents?
he more or less did his own thing. You know, he played around all the time. And, yeah,
All
I
right.
don't know what we used to do, but he was a hellion.
That's where we get it from. Were you named after a family member, or does your name have any special meaning?
Well, they said they named me after, used to be an Edwin on television. They named me after Edwin on television, but I don't know. I never seen him.
Yeah, you never saw me. You don't know his show.
No,
Did you have a nickname growing up that your siblings or family called you?
no, just Ed.
Just
Ed.
So tell me more about the house you grew up in. I want to know more about the water and what that was like. So a few times a month it would flood?
Yeah, we flood about 2 or 3 times a month, and I remember going through that, and in the backyard they had down the back it was like a mud hole down there, and I got stuck in it one time. My sister had to pull me out. But the house matter of fact, the house, they picked that house up and moved it about 20 feet backwards to the other side of the way the pond. The house is still there, but it's not. The pond was here, and we was about right on the water.
Oh wow. Do you know what year that house was built?
That had to be built in 200. I don't know. Well, I don't know.
How did your family spend time together when you were young?
My father worked, my mother stayed home, and us kids played around.
Did your mom do the housewife thing and
Yeah.
make the dinners and?
Yeah, she did it all. She did it for 6 kids, and we ate good. That was good. But we was poor. But I don't know if we was poor now. We was average. You know, we had enough to eat, enough to sleep, and we had clothes. So I never knew I was poor. But
Right. Didn't you have an outhouse as a bathroom?
Oh yeah, we had an out. We never did have an out. I never did have a house with an outhouse till I got married. I always had the outhouse.
You always had the outhouse.
Yeah. Grandma come over there one time, and she had to go to the bathroom. We told her, "You gotta go to the back of the house. There's an outhouse out there."
Was that common growing up for other children?
No,
No.
that wasn't too common. But we was, like we said,
You guys were happy.
I was happy, but the old man put his money someplace else. So we didn't have a bath. He added a bathroom later on, but not then he did.
What is the most important lesson that your parents taught you?
Well, I had to know all of it because I would get whipped by a cat 9 tails. It was a strap cut in slices. So they said, behave yourself or you're gonna get this.
So you had to learn all the lessons.
You had to just stay out of trouble, boy. Nobody told us what to do. We could go and come and go all hours of the night, anything. But as far as getting in trouble, we never did get in trouble.
No. What was your worst punishment?
I don't know. I don't really have no.
Probably just the whippings.
I got a couple, but not that bad.
What was your favorite food as a child that you ate, like that your mom made? What was your favorite meal from her?
The best ones we had were Johnny Cakes, Johnny Cake meals. I don't. They don't make them no more. I don't think.
No, what's the Johnny cake?
It's the Johnny Cake mix that you buy, and she makes patties out of them like a hamburger. The size of a hamburger. And she's making those for 6 kids. So you realize how much time it took to cook for 6 kids. 2 or 3 at a time in a pan. We used to eat those like we clean them right up.
And what were they? What is a Johnny cake? What is it made out of? Like what's in the ingredients?
Cornmeal, like.
Okay, so it's almost like a pancake kind of, or a.
Yeah. We used to put butter on them and salt and stuff like that.
Grandma, I think I skipped you on these questions. What was your favorite meal growing up?
I wish you had skipped me. I don't know. I liked my mother's cookings. She used to make fudge. Oh, she used to make fudge. That was a treat. She'd make a big pan of it, and then I'd eat it all night long and all the next day. that was good. She was a good cook though,
Yeah.
but she had to cook like mostly Hamburg because money wasn't plentiful for drinking, but not for feeding us.
Was that common back then?
Yeah.
Drinking was a
Drinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
To the lower class people.
That's
Yeah.
why when I got married, I said, I'll never marry a guy that drinks. And I wouldn't have. I wouldn't. When we first got married, he started a little bit nibbling into drinking. Because before I met him, everybody I knew was like 16, 17-year-old teenagers. So when I married him, he'd been through the service, so he was, 21, 22? And then he'd go out a couple of times drinking. I said, no. So I was going to leave, but then we straightened it out.
I
I won't
changed
live
my
with
mind.
drinking. I
I wanted her, so I changed my ways.
Yeah, he did.
And what was your worst punishment that you had growing up?
We used to kneel in the corner
On your
by
knees?
him, yeah, on your knees, yeah. And if you squelched down, you'd get a whack. Yeah, but just on the knees, yeah. My mother never disciplined us.
Only your stepfather?
Yeah, she never had to. We were good.
All right, so now we're going into school era, childhood, younger years. You can do this. All right, so we'll start with Papa. We'll give you. Are you tired of talking? You want a break?
No.
You're good. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go into school. These aren't really in order. They're kind of all over the place. So I apologize if I'm kind of jumping, but we'll go right into it. What was your favorite subject in school?
I didn't have a favorite subject.
Washing the boards.
Washing the boards, showing movies.
We did.
That was in the second and third grade. They used to get out of it, and I have to go show the movies to the other kids.
Like an AV club?
No, it was just school. If you had a job to do, they let you out to go do the job, and you come back later on.
So you go show the movie to the other kids
Yeah.
in your grade?
Yeah.
So you got out of class to go do that?
Yeah, I got out of class to do that, so I didn't have to study.
What were you good at school? Were you not good at school?
I wasn't good. I was lousy.
Did you pay attention? Did you have trouble paying attention?
No, it wasn't that. It was just I couldn't catch on to nothing. I couldn't catch on to nothing. Poor reader, everything.
Did you finish school?
No,
What was the highest grade level you got to?
7th,
You were the 7th grade. How old were you?
16,
You were 16 in the 7th grade?
yeah.
Did you fail a lot of classes for that to?
2 years in every one of them.
Oh, wow. Did they have any rules then for aging out or anything?
Nothing, no rules. When you're 16, you can get out.
That's it. You turn 16, you can go.
I think they just pushed you along back in them days.
Like I said, these are a little all over the place. So, did you have a childhood best friend?
I had a couple, yeah, I had a couple.
Do you remember who they were?
It was Clifford Larkin was one. He turned out to be a pretty good guy, yeah. And Joey Melnick. Well, Joey Melnick was, he was my next door neighbor's kid, so I know him. That's about it, I guess.
Did you run with them all through the years and stuff?
Yeah, we didn't run that much, because I was into sports a lot. I used to get in little leagues and stuff like that, so I didn't really run with anybody.
What sports did you play?
I played baseball, that was it.
Did you have school leagues that you played on, or was it just recreational?
Recreational.
Was it organized sports?
Yeah, it was organized, little league.
And when did you do that from? When did you start doing that?
I did that when I was in school, I was about 14, 12, 13, 14.
Until when?
Yeah, till I was 16 and
Until
I
you-
quit.
Okay. Do you have any? What are your best memories from those days, for baseball?
I was a pitcher, and I used to like it.
Yeah, pitchers. That's like the quarterback in football.
Yeah.
Pitchers are the man, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have any bad memories about playing baseball?
No. Only thing bad memories. Nobody ever took me. I had to go from Coventry to Washington and thumb my way down, thumb my way back home.
Really?
It was about 8 miles down and 8 miles back. I had to go through that every time we had a game.
Wow. How often were your games?
We would, probably a couple of weeks or something like that.
And you had a,
It would only last about school lasted about 3 or 4 months. That's baseball.
how were you good? Were you a starting pitcher?
Yeah, I was good. I was good. I wasn't no professional, but I was good. I remember one game I had. We played. My father he come home one day and he says, "We got a game to play." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "The team at the shop, they took up they want to play ball for them." They said, "Pitch." I said, "Okay, I'll pitch." So I remember I played in that one game. One game I was pitching this kid, and he hit a home run on me. Oh Jesus, that was it. So that was it. That was a bad memory.
Did you recover from that home run?
Yeah, I still remember it good. I can see it now.
I'm talking about in the game. Did they take you out of the game, or did you?
No, I guess it was almost over. Yeah.
So you played baseball. What else did you do for fun as a kid? Even in the early years, like what kind of toys did you have? What would you like to do?
I'd just hang out at B's Diner when I was old enough, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I went in the Army at 19.
Where was B's Diner?
That was right down in the Washington Street in Coventry.
In Coventry. What made you join the Army? What prompted that decision?
It was a couple of other guys who were going to go in, so I decided I want to go in. So I went in. Well, I joined the reserves first, and the reserves only held you for 6 months, and you can get out this way here. So I went back and joined up again for 2 more years. And I had to go to. I had to go and do my full duty then. So I was in there for 2 years after that.
How old? What year was that when you were 19? Was that 59?
No, it was about 60. It was 1960. Yeah, it must have been about 62, 63.
Yeah, because we met in 62.
Yeah.
So you just got out, you said,
Yeah.
just before you met me?
So about 1959, 1960 you joined.
Yeah.
So you did your 2 years in?
I did my 2 years, and that was it. Then I got married after that.
Now, do you remember? So World War I had started right in 39 to the early 40s, and
Yeah.
World War II was going.
I missed that, and I missed the Korean War. World War II.
And you got out just before the Vietnam.
Vietnam War.
That-
So I didn't get into that either.
What is your memory of when you were really young, when World War II was going on? Do you have any?
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Didn't even know it was happening?
No. My father wasn't how you say, he
Political
wasn't,
in that.
Yeah, he wasn't into that stuff. So he never talked about it.
And it didn't make like the world news, like you guys.
No, we never watched television that much. We didn't have a television.
What prompted you to get out? Why did you not stay with it? Why were you done with
Service?
Yeah.
Well, my time was up like everybody else was, so I decided to go. I quit. I didn't have the education to keep going with it because they started going through. They started making everybody have a high school education after that, and I never had one.
And you didn't want to get it.
No.
What did you do in the service?
I was infantryman. That's all. Just we march and different things like that. Go to where we put on demonstrations of marching and stuff like that, you know. So that's all we did.
Do you remember your position or your title?
I was a BAR man. I went to BAR school to shoot the BAR. That's a Browning automatic rifle, and I got pretty good. I started taking lessons on it. Then I went to we shot as a team, shot, but nothing after that. We just got out and that was it.
You told us an interesting story last night about a time you remember when you were marching. Do you remember that story?
Marching.
You guys were doing a demonstration, a marching demonstration.
Yeah, we was going to. We were all sitting in the back of this army tank, and up ahead of us it was the studio, outside studio. It was